Well, justices are now heading into the final few weeks of deliberations, and nearly half of their caseloads right now have not been heard. But the judges are now still weighing whether former President Trump is immune from criminal prosecution in the election interference case against him.
Queen City News reporter Shakira Speaks joins us now. And Shakira, what other cases are we expecting to see rulings on?
Yeah, Brian, the cases still waiting to be heard include laws surrounding guns, abortions, and several cases that challenge the power of federal agencies, and they'll determine former President Donald Trump's eligibility to run for president again. Major decisions set to come down from the nation's highest court. The first, will former President Donald Trump be immune from prosecution for his alleged role in overturning Joe Biden's election victory?
If a president can be charged, put on trial, and imprisoned for his most controversial decisions as soon as he leaves office, every current president will face de facto blackmail and extortion by his political rivals.
Framers did not put an immunity clause into the Constitution. Not so surprising. They were reacting against a monarch who claimed to be above the law.
The timing of this ruling will be crucial in determining if Trump will face another trial before Election Day. In March, justices heard oral arguments on whether to restrict access to a key abortion medication, mifepristone, used in more than half of all U.S. abortions and first approved by the Food and Drug Administration in 2000. The Supreme Court's ruling in the 2022 Dobbs versus Jackson case ended federal protections to an abortion set by Roe v. Wade. Just last week, lawmakers in D.C. held a vote on the Right to Contraception Act. It did not pass a vote.
Here we are in a situation where today Republican colleagues voted against protecting our freedom to make our own decisions about birth control.
Republican Senator John Cornyn argues birth control access is not in jeopardy from Republicans or anyone else.
Contraception is available in every state in America, and there's no legitimate effort to change that.
Another case we should see a ruling on is related to if doctors are required by federal law to perform abortions in the case of life or death situations. A law in Idaho requires doctors to prove that a mother could die if she gave birth. Federal officials argue if a hospital receives federal funding, doctors are required to perform the procedure, no matter their state's laws on abortions. So the court will issue rulings on a federal bump stock ban, and there's a case on whether the Biden administration can put limits on social media posts. And justices face a decision on whether Donald Trump and January 6 rioters can be charged with obstructing the certification of the 2020 election. 29 cases are still waiting for discussion, and the High Court will release rulings tomorrow and every week until their term ends, traditionally by the first week in July. Guys.
Shakira, thank you.